Shalom and good evening, everyone. Hallelujah. Praise be to Yah. I am on time. Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is the reading challenge part 3. Hopefully tonight we can close everything out so you can go back and review all the chapters we have read from Ezekiel chapter 48, Zechariah chapter 14, and Isaiah chapter 66. Now, my sister will be joining us later on this evening. Okay. Um, I do need to send a couple of links to some people so they can have it. Hold on for 1 minute, guys. I do apologize. So I'm gonna send this out to them. I hope everybody's doing well. As I'm doing this now, I like to give all honor, praise, and glory unto our Father who is in heaven. YAHUAH, He is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I also like to give our homage unto his son, Yahusha HaMashiach, for he is the Messiah, the second Adam, the anointed one. And I like to give our honors and respect unto the Ruach HaKodesh, who is the Holy Spirit, known as the glory of Yah and the beauty of Yah. Also, I bid my shalom or bid greetings unto my brethren and to the following 3 groups who are the bride of the Messiah, the 144,000, and to the nation of Israel. Shalom and good evening. I hope all has been well with y'all. I know a lot has been going on, but know this, all things work out to the good of Yah. And when you understand that, you will have peace in your heart. And you will have a smile in your face and you will be rejoicing because you know soon the end will come, and through the end it shall bring forth the new beginning. Hallelujah. Okay, as I'm sending this link out, bear with me, y'all. Um, if you can hear me well, just let me know. Type in the comment box if you can hear me well. Let's see here. What else we got going on? I need to give y'all the date. That's right, we got to go over the date. Today is the 11th month of the Most High Calendar, known as Sabbat or Shabbat. And today now is I believe it's his 3rd day. And we are in the 8th day from Adam, which is the 13th day from creation, which is in the 8th week of Enoch's 10-week prophecy. Now, as far as the heathen date, known as Satan's date, we are in January the 16th in the year of 2021 AD. As far as the day of their week, we are still in Saturnine day, for Satan's day begins from midnight to midnight. However, the Most High day begins from sundown to sundown. Okay, let me make sure I put this stuff in right for my sister, because she just let me know she's on her way. I'm trying to make sure I put everything here right, y'all, because you know how it is when you have typos while you texting and talking at the same time. Okay. Now I got that in there. Let me send this out. And let's see here. Okay, and let's see here. I'm trying to see. Let me send this in this group too. Also, I'd like to thank those who have been following along with us, also participating in this challenge. I hope this challenge edify your soul, and I hope it encourage you to continue to read the word of the Most High and to seek Him to get His understanding of what His word is saying unto you. Okay. Oh, I remember. I put this in the wrong spot, y'all. Okay, let me make sure I get in the right spot. Here we go. This is the right spot. Okay. Now I got to let my peoples on Facebook know, and then we can soon start. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to change my screen, y'all, so we can get the copyright situation out the way. So if we are using any copyright materials, we are covered because we are using this information for learning purposes only. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're using this information for learning purposes only. Oh, okay, I did have the right screen. Let me scroll down. Okay. Okay, now that's out the way. Let's go to the King James 1611 Bible. And we're going to chapter 48 of Ezekiel in the 1611 Bible. Let me adjust my screen some so when my sister come in, you know who is speaking. Okay. Shalom and good evening, sis. Okay, and I just got to get one link to let our family know on Facebook for those who would like to join us from the Facebook community. I hate when they do this stuff. They put all this darn advertising. I don't want to participate in that. Okay, now I can get out of it. Okay, they can just crap me up. How they put all this advertisement before you, and they don't even put the X where you can exit out of it because they want you to go through it. Not this, you know how that works. Anyway, let me get that, and let me go to Facebook, and I need to update this. I'm just typing this part, and then after that, y'all, we can get started. Okay, why did it do that? Okay, so let me go back and fix it. For some reason on Facebook, I put the link, but it's not showing the hold on, y'all. I tell you. Let me try to copy it again and then repaste the link. Then they can have it. Now let's try this again. There we go. All right. And it's still doing that. It's still doing something weird. So I'll just put it in the comment section too. So let me get out of that. Come out of Facebook now so we can get started. Okay. Now I can see everyone's comment. Good evening and shalom to all that just came on. All right, let's us get started, y'all. Okay, I see my sister is here. Shalom and good evening, sis.
Shalom, sis. Shalom. Thank you. Good evening. I'm here.
Hey, look, you came at the right time. I just got through with all the little other stuff.
Good.
So now we can go ahead and get started right
Yes.
quick.
Yeah.
So do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I can start. That's fine.
Okay. And what I'm going to do first, sis, I'm going to say a quick prayer for us before
Yes,
we begin.
no problem.
So, to my brothers, I ask you to uncover your heads. To my sisters, I ask you to cover your head, and we're going to face the east. Okay. We do these things as a sign, and in your spare time, you want to learn why our Father in heaven asked our brothers to uncover their heads, and why the sisters are asked to cover their heads. It's more than just doing a task. These tasks represent something, okay? But it's going to give you further understanding. So when the day comes, whenever the enemy prevents you from doing these things, then you know that it's not going to stop you from going before the Holy of Holies for those who understand those mysteries. And my brother said there's some background noise. So, sis, I'm going to ask you to mute your mic for a second. Let me see if it's coming on your end or my end. Okay. Sis, I don't know if you have like a TV or anything on. That might be what it is.
Okay, sis. I'll double
Okay.
check. Is that better?
Oh yeah, that's way better.
Thank you, sis.
Let me see. Yep, he says better too. And shalom to the one that just came on.
Okay.
I'm still hearing it here and there, sis. So what we'll do, we'll play it by ear. So since I'm gonna do the prayer right quick, mute your mic for me right quick, and
Okay.
then come back in after the prayer. Okay. All right, y'all. Let us begin. We're gonna face the east. In the name of Yahusha HaMashiach, Father, we come before you this evening. We want to thank you, Father. We thank you for this reading challenge because this challenge has truly been edifying for all of us, y'all. For all of us, Father, because we can see there's so much you want us to learn, so much you want to share with us. So we pray that when your children do take part in this reading challenge, that they do not allow their hearts to be hardened, that they allow your spirit to come in and to teach them of what you want them to know. We also pray for the tares and the serpents among us because, again, we know why they do what they do because all things about the spirits. Okay. And when you understand what you're dealing with in this world, Father, I mean, when they understand what they're dealing with in this world, then they will understand why they have a hardened heart, or why they have a nature of a tear, or why they have a nature of a serpent. And when you bring these things to their attention, Father, we pray that they will repent of that and become a child of yours. So, Father, if anything we have not asked for you in this prayer, we ask that you fulfill it according to your will. In the name of Yahusha HaMashiach, so be it. All right. All right, sis.
All right. Okay, sis. Is that better? Background noise?
Yes.
Good? Okay.
Yes. So I'm going to read the chapters. Hold on. Try to make sure. Do you have a headset, like a earbud or anything?
You want me to use my headset? Would that be better?
Yeah.
All right.
Because that's why I got my that's what I have on this time,
Okay,
even
hold on.
myself.
Hold
Okay, sis, are you there? Okay, I see. She went on mute. Okay,
on.
there you go. Okay, we're gonna see how that go. Okay, because I know in the last video, I know we had a lot of feedback, and what I noticed that when our mics or when our speakers are open, for some reason it picks up any and everything.
All right. Okay, I'm now
Okay,
wearing a headset. How is this?
it sounds good to me.
All right.
We'll see how it go.
All right. Let's see how we go.
So I'm gonna start with the chapter summary of Ezekiel chapter 48. For the chapter summary says the portion of the 12 tribes of the sanctuary, of the city and suburbs, and of the prince, the dimensions and gates of the city. Even in the summer, y'all, we got some key words here. I see here 12 tribes, sanctuary. You want to ask yourself what city they talking about? Suburbs, where the location of these suburbs? Then what prince is this chapter talking about? And then you want to look at the dimensions and gates of the city. All right.
All right, sis. I'm going to start with verse 1.
Okay.
Now these are the names of the tribes from the north end to the coast of the way of Hethlon, as one goeth to Hamath, Hazeran, the border of Damascus, northward, the coast of Hamath. For these are his sides, east and west, a portion for Dan.
Ooh. Go ahead and give us the keywords.
The one that sticks out to me is Dan, a portion for Dan.
Me too.
Okay.
All right. Let me give them a hint why they want to underline a portion for Dan. Okay. Let me go back to my other screen where I can see about the comments. All right. If you read the book of Revelation, then you definitely want, what's the word I could say? If you read the book of Revelation, then you're going to understand about the portion for Dan. I'm giving y'all a hint. I can't give you the answer, because we just doing reading scriptures. But when people read Revelation, they always ask about the tribe of Dan, for those who read the book of Revelation. So we're giving you a hint. To get more information about Dan, you have to read Ezekiel chapter 48. All right. Now remember, Ezekiel 48 is on that highlight that we share with y'all tonight. I'm laughing because when you come into the whole volume of the book, y'all, you have to understand the Father had his word written in a certain code. So there's pieces to the puzzle. So even if you go back, I'm giving you another hint. You got to go back to the beginning to understand the what about Dan. Okay.
Also,
Oh,
too, is the
yes.
book of Joshua. The book of Joshua. So there's another hint.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh. And
Okay.
like, uh-huh. Okay.
Okay.
Like this brother here is mentioning about Dan. But it's something deep about Dan. And that's something I can tell y'all. Because when people read Revelation, that's one of the questions they ask, especially Israelites, they ask us, well, what about Dan? Okay. All right.
Okay.
We'll go on to the next verse.
All right. Verse 2. And by the border of Dan from the east side unto the west side, a portion for Asher.
Okay. Now here, what keyword do you see here, sis?
Well, I see another tribe being mentioned.
Yeah.
Asher. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Again, now this go towards all my Christians. Because we've been taught everybody the same, right? We've been taught there's no such thing as nationality in the Messiah.
Right.
Okay? That's what they taught us, right? I'm
Mhm.
gonna show some people comments as I'm speaking. Okay. They taught us there's no such thing in the Messiah as you being identified by your nationality. Okay.
Right.
All right. All right. I'm just showing some people comments.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Something to think about here now. You need to
Good.
ask yourself, why is Ezekiel prophesying unto us about, so far we have seen what? Two tribes mentioned. And I'm going to give this to you. We all should know that what these tribes are dealing with, what? The 12 tribes of Israel. So you need to ask yourself, based on what based on what we was taught in the Christian doctrine, they said there's no more what? There's no more tribes. There's no more nationality. There's no more male, no female, right? There's no more circumcised or uncircumcised, etc. Right? They said what we are all the same. They said all that stuff is put away. Okay.
Right.
So the question you need to ask yourself, if all of that's put away, why is Ezekiel prophesying unto us what would take place in the kingdom to come? Why are we seeing these tribe names mentioned again? Okay, something to think about. All right, let's look at the next verse, sis. What
All
verse
right.
you have next?
Okay, I'm just going to keep it moving. Verse
Okay.
3, we see another tribe being mentioned. And by the border of Asher from the east side, even unto the west side, a portion for Naphtali. That's another
Okay.
tribe mentioned.
So we got Dan, Asher, Naphtali.
Right. In verse 4, in addition to all those three tribes you mentioned, we see another portion for Manasseh in verse 4. So we have another
Yes.
tribe mentioned in verse 4. Verse 5, the same thing. We see a portion for Ephraim, though here,
Mm.
here we see a portion for
Mm-hmm.
Ephraim.
And when somebody asked a question in the
Mhm.
group chat, let me go back to that screen and point out their question right here. They when I asked a question, they
Yes,
made a statement. It
yes,
said
yes.
double portion for Joseph. So as you can see,
Mhm,
these two verses are expounding on that,
mhm.
verse 4 and
Okay.
verse 5, because
Verse.
if you have your foundation in you, you will know who is Manasseh and who is Ephraim father. Okay?
Mhm,
Which is
mhm.
what? Joseph. All
Joseph.
right.
Mhm.
Hold
Okay.
on for 1 second,
Okay.
sis. Let
Okay.
me get that straight.
Mhm,
This person say here, like I said, remember I just said it before. This person said that lineage doesn't matter. Again, it okay, based on the Christian doctrine, that's what they say. But look what this prophet's saying. He's
mhm,
mentioning lineage here.
mhm,
Something to think about.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because based on this
Oh, okay,
lineage, it
I'm
would.
sorry. I missed his comment above. Let me
Oh,
start to talk. He said that's why they teach at
oh,
Central Seminary schools
oh,
that
that lineage.
lineage don't doesn't exist.
Gotcha.
Okay. Thank you, my brother, for that correction.
Okay.
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 Um, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this is what they're teaching in those what do you call those Bible schools, those pastor schools.
Seminary. Mm-hmm.
So we're thinking that when they go to seminary school, they're teaching them the whole book, right? That's what we're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Something
Mm-hmm.
to think about.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
What's the next verse you're going to?
I'm going to verse 6 because here we see another tribe being mentioned by the border of Ephraim from the east side unto the west side, a portion for Reuben.
So we got Reuben.
Mm-hmm.
And who is Reuben, y'all, as far as is he the oldest or is he the youngest? That's something to think about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
As we are mentioning these tribe names, think about, you know, who is the oldest and who's the youngest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's a reason for that. Again, we come in the whole volume of the book. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What else is?
Verse 7, and by the border of Reuben from the east side unto the west side, a portion for Judah.
Mm-hmm. Hold on for 1 minute. I'm trying to get this person comment because sometimes the computer be slow. My
Mm-hmm.
phone is faster, but this
Ellen.
person here, name essential, answer that question. Who is Reuben? This person said what? The
Mm-hmm.
eldest. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I know you just mentioned about a portion for Judah. A
Right.
portion for Judah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's the next one, sis?
Verse 8, and by the border of Judah from the east side unto the west side shall be the offering which ye shall offer of 25,000 reeds reeds. I'm sorry. Let me read it again. And from the border of Judah, from the east side unto the west side, shall be the offering which ye shall offer of 25,000 reeds in breadth and in length as one of the other parts from the east side unto the west, and the sanctuary shall be in the midst of it.
Oh, then that verse you want to highlight.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all want to highlight that verse.
Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
So I'm even reflecting on this verse, y'all. That's why y'all hear me being quiet.
Mm-hmm.
It's giving us the location, right? What is the location it's giving us of?
Mm-hmm.
The
The sanctuary.
sanctuary.
And sis, can I say something regarding this as well? Go back.
Yes, go ahead.
Go back to Numbers chapter 2.
Numbers 2.
Yes.
Numbers 2. Okay. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
The
Mm-hmm.
standards of the camp, how they were set up. Numbers
Yeah,
chapter 2.
yeah.
Okay.
So our sister gave y'all a nugget tonight. Look at Numbers 2. Numbers
Mm-hmm.
2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Again, highlight that. Very important.
Mhm.
All right. What's another
All
one?
right. So we're going into the oblations now in verse 9. The
Okay, hold on
oblation.
for 1 second,
Okay.
sis.
All right.
I did show this person comment when they answered our
Okay.
prior question, like who is the oldest and who's the youngest, and they said
Oh, okay.
Benjamin's the youngest. So
Okay.
let me hide that. Okay.
Okay.
And let's go on to the next verse.
All right. Verse 9. The oblation that ye shall offer unto the Lord shall be of 25,000 in length and of 10,000 in breadth.
The question you want to ask yourself, what is this oblation that our Father in heaven is talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Because by looking at the measurement, you should ought to know what it is.
Wow.
What is this oblation refer to? Now we read it in the prior chapters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, sis, let's go on to the next verse and maybe that, will
You want to?
give them the
Okay. All right. Let's go on.
confirmation.
Okay. Verse 10. And for them, even for the priest, shall be this holy oblation. Toward the north, 25,000 in length, and toward the west, 10,000 in breadth, and towards the east, 10,000 in breadth, and towards the south, 25,000 in length. And the sanctuary of the Lord shall be in the midst thereof.
Mm. Now, verse 10 is giving you a hint within a hint
Mhm,
because we just read in verse 8, we talked about the sanctuary, right? It said the sanctuary should be in the midst of it, right? Well,
mhm,
this verse is giving you a hint within a hint about what this oblation is. Okay. And notice that this oblation, you need to ask yourself, who is this oblation for?
mhm,
Okay. And now I'm gonna give you another hint. It's dealing with more than one being here. Okay. But
mhm,
some keywords you want to look at, even for the priests, shall be this holy oblation. Okay. Then it gives you what? The dimensions, the measurement of this oblation. Then it goes on to let you know that the sanctuary of Yahuwah shall be in the midst thereof. So it should be in the midst of what? Thereof what? It ought to answer within itself. It's telling you about it.
mhm, mhm,
And notice what this sanctuary. Notice what this sanctuary is of. It's dealing with of the Lord, of Yahuwah. Okay.
mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna show this person comment right quick. Something
Mm,
to think about.
mhm, mhm,
But
hmm,
go back in the prior chapters, see what this oblation is, though. You're
mhm.
getting close, but the question you got to ask yourself, where you gonna put it at? I done gave you a hint now. Where you gonna put it at? All right.
Uh-huh. Hmm.
Okay. Let us keep
All right.
going.
Verse 11. It shall be for the priests that are sanctified of the sons of Zadok, which have kept my charge, which went not astray when the children of Israel went astray, as the Levites went astray.
Wait a minute. I thought Yahuwah just love everybody and just forget about everybody transgression. I thought it won't be carried over in the kingdom to come, right?
Mhm, mhm,
And the reason why I'm saying this for those who are new watching, if you read the prior, when you read the prior chapters, you get some information about the Zadok and about the Levites. Okay. Now, when you read this verse, it's dealing with what's yet to come. And the reason why I'm saying this, because it comes from the Christian doctrine when they say what everybody's the same, everybody gonna get everything, and we all gonna be in heaven, right? That's what they teach us
mhm,
about in the kingdom to come. All right. But here, this is something you need to go back and ask those Christian teachers or pastors or whoever's taught you that doctrine. You need to go back to them, ask them, can you clarify this? All right. You need to ask them, why is it that it's mentioning Zadok, okay, being priests right here? It said it shall be for the priests that are sanctified of the sons of Zadok. And then you need to ask them, why is this talking about the Levites who led the children of Israel astray from the Father? You need to ask them that. Why are we seeing this again? What does have to do with the kingdom to come? Another question you need to ask again, because they told everybody was the same, everybody gonna, be in heaven, have a good time. Why is it that when you hear the word priest, it's only associated with what? Levites and Zadok. Why is that? Why is that when you hear the word priest, that is only associated with Levi and Zadok? Because in some of the other Christian faith, remember there's many branches of them. We have the Jehovah Witness, we have the Baptists, we have the Apostolics, we have the Mormons, Catholics, there's many, and Protestants, I'm just naming the highlights, but there's many branches. And in all their doctrines, they teach you that anyone can be what? An ordained priest.
Priest.
Long as they go through what? Their seminary schools. This is what they teach to people. They say anyone. All right. I'm not talking about, okay, let me rephrase it. It's because I'm not going to say it's all, but I'm talking about the majority would teach you that anyone can partake in becoming a priest. But why is it when we read in verse 11, we see the word priest is only associated to the sons of Zadok and to the Levites when you read the other chapters? Okay, these are questions you need to ask yourself. All right, now this person been reading the book. All right, I'm going to show you what they have to say.
All right.
And I know why he put this as a question form, because he's asking the Christians, because Christians don't want to look at the covenant. All right, but he's putting this form as a question, and then he's coming with an answer. He's saying sons of Aaron. If you understand the covenant, then you understand why he put sons of Aaron. Okay. All right.
All right.
Okay, let's keep going, sis.
All right, sis. Verse 12. And this oblation of the land that is offered shall be unto them a thing most holy by the border of the Levites.
Now, verse 12 done gave you the answer about the oblation, what it is. Now you have the answer to find out, because this brother right here was putting question marks. I was saying, where you going to put these items at? Where you going to put the tabernacle at? / temple. Where you going to put the ark at? Where you going to put the altar at? You see what I'm saying? That's something to ask yourself. And notice what this verse is saying. Another key word. It said what? It shall be unto them a thing most holy. Holy by the border of the Levites. So this oblation's what? It's a holy thing unto the Most High. But notice that he used this word most holy. Let us know that it's the highest holiness.
Right.
Keywords here. Okay, let's keep going, because sometimes if I talk too much, y'all, I'll be preaching and giving interpretations, and this channel ain't about that. It's just trying to point things out for you, so you know what questions to ask your Father and those who teach His word or preach His word or interpret His word. But these are the things we need to be meditating on. Okay.
All right. Verse 13, and over against the border of the priests, the Levites shall have 25,000 in length and 10,000 in breadth. All the length shall be 25,000, and the breadth 10,000.
Okay. So what was the key words here, sis?
All right, let me see now. I see the border of the priest, the Levites, and I see the measurements. So the entire verse is actually a key verse.
So keep probably going down to 14.
Okay, let me jump to 14. And they shall not sell of it, neither exchange, nor alienate the first fruits of the land, for it is holy unto the Lord.
Again, y'all, where have we seen this before? Where have we seen similar instruction like this before? That's given unto the Levites, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
Mm.
I know there's some Christians here rolling right about now. They say we never heard of this before. Where this coming from? And I'm not saying this to be funny, but I'm being honest. If I was a Christian today that followed the Christian doctrine, I'd be thinking this. I'm like, where did this come from?
Mm-hmm.
We were never taught this.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I mean, the first thing I'd be thinking, why nobody preaching about this? Why they always saying to us, we just going to heaven to have a good time and we all the same?
Mm.
It's something to ask. And this is serious because at the end of the day, the book is telling you what is coming. But yet, those who claim they are ordained and sent by the Most High, they're not telling the people what is coming. This is crazy.
Crazy.
Okay, let's keep going, sis.
All right, let's try verse 15. And the
Okay.
5,000 that are left in the breath over against the 25,000 shall be a profane place for the city, for dwelling, and for suburbs, and the city shall be in the midst thereof.
Now this verse should tell you
Mm,
something about the Father. Why
mhm,
is it that there is a place
mhm.
that shall be a proclaimed place for the city? And I think that's profane.
Profane,
Profane. And if you look up the word profane, in other words, it's the opposite of holy.
holy, correct.
It's the opposite of clean.
Mhm,
You ask yourself, why would this be so?
mhm.
Okay. All right, let's keep moving.
All right, so we see the measurements of these things in verse 16, and these shall be the measures thereof. The north side 4,500, and the south side 4,500, and on the east side 4,500, and on the west side 4,500.
So it's giving us a measurement of that of above.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also pointing that it's perfect in its measurement all around.
Mm-hmm. Hint, hint. Gonna give you understanding about Revelation then.
Uh-huh.
What's mentioned in Revelation?
Right.
Okay.
All
What's the
right.
next one,
Let's
sis?
do verse 17. And the suburbs of the city shall be toward the north, 250, and towards the south, 250, and
Mm,
towards the east, 250, and towards the west, 250.
mm. Wow. Perfection.
Perfection in its measurement all around.
Mm. Let us keep going.
All right. And the residue in the length over against the oblation of the holy portion shall be 10,000 eastward and 10,000 westward. And it shall be over against the oblation of the holy portion, and the increase thereof shall be for food unto them that serve the city.
Mm. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We're gonna have people serving the city?
Serving the
What?
city.
Wait a minute. They ain't what they told us in them Christian churches.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Okay. But that's something to meditate and to study on. And remember, y'all, when y'all look at the word serve or servant or whatever, you have to get the Father definition. Don't get the world definition. And I think that's why a lot of people cringe when they hear the word serve or servant. Because
Mhm,
put you at Eve, he told Yashael, which is the Israelites, he told unto us, we are his servants too.
mhm,
hmm
mhm,
Okay.
mhm,
All right.
mhm.
Let's go on to the next one.
Verse 19, and they that serve the city shall serve it out of all the tribes of Israel.
Mm, there go that tribal thing, y'all. Mm, there go that tribal thing.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
going ahead and show this guy's comment right quick. We was talking about serving and serve, and he
Mhm,
understand what I'm talking about.
mhm,
It's not what they think.
mhm,
Okay. You have to read the book to understand what it means to be a servant. Okay.
Okay.
What does
Right.
it mean to serve?
Mhm.
And a lot of us are doing it now and don't even recognize that we're doing it now in this kingdom. We
Mhm.
think we free because they're giving us trinkets such as cars, houses, and we can travel here and there a little bit. We think we free. Hmm.
You know
Something
what?
to think about.
Those things you just mentioned are actually crumbs compared to what's in the kingdom.
Yeah. Yeah. They are nothing compared to what's
Yes,
coming.
those are crumbs.
Nothing.
Mhm.
Nothing to
Mhm.
that compare to what's coming
That's right.
for the righteous, for his children, okay?
Yes.
For those who submit to the rod of iron. That's the month we in now, y'all. We in the month that means a rod, okay? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. In that 11th month.
Mhm.
Okay.
All
What
right. Next
what's
one.
what's the next verse? Uh-huh.
Verse 20. All the oblation shall be 25,000 by 25,000. Ye shall offer the holy oblation four square
Mm,
with the possession of the city.
Do y'all hear that? Again, it's give us what? Perfection.
Mhm.
It's confirming unto you what it's going to look like with the dimensions, right? Key
Right.
word here is four square
Mhm.
with the possession of the city. It's
Mhm.
telling you what's coming with it.
Right.
Okay. What's
Okay.
another verse sis?
And verse 21, and the residue shall be for the prince on the one side and on the other of the holy oblation and of the possession of the city over against the 25,000 of the oblation towards the east border and westward over against the 25,000 toward the west border over against the portions for the prince, and it shall be for the holy oblation, and the sanctuary of the house shall be in the midst thereof.
Question you did ask yourself, who is this prince? Shalom, shalom to those who just came on. Shalom. Who is this prince that this verse is referencing to? And to understand who this prince is, you got to read a whole volume of chapter 40 to 48 to narrow it down.
Hmm.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Um,
right.
Another key word is sanctuary of the house.
Mhm.
Sanctuary of the house. Some key words here. Because remember, we're in the English language. So, in the English language, there's some words have more than one meaning or have the same meaning. Okay. Hint, hint.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes. All
What's
right.
another word?
Verse 22. Moreover, from the possession of the Levites and from the possession of the city, being in the midst of that which is the prince's, between the border of Judah and the border of Benjamin, shall be for the prince.
Now, this is very important to pay attention, y'all. We
Yes,
got a
yes.
lot of keywords here. Some of the keywords here, what? We have princes with a S, Princes, right? Then it goes on to talk about the border of Judah and the border of Benjamin. After that, following that, it mentioned about the prince. Big
Mhm.
difference between princes and the prince. Okay, something to meditate on. So you want to ask yourself, who is the princess? And I think sister ought to gave y'all a nugget that
Uh-huh.
numbers two. But you need to identify who are the princes and who is the prince. Okay, something to meditate on. All right, let us keep going.
Verse 23. As for the rest of the tribes from the east side unto the west side, Benjamin shall have a portion.
Mm. There go that tribe thing
Another
again.
tribe. Mhm.
But sis, I thought we were all the same. I
That's
thought
what
there's
I'm
no such
saying.
thing as a tribe
No
anymore.
such thing.
I thought all the tribes of the earth become one tribe.
That's right. One people. Mhm. One big melting pot. That's what they
Mm,
say, sis. Melting
yes.
pot. Okay. All right. Okay.
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 Another hint, another nugget I'm going to give you is until you understand the three groups, then you understand this. Three groups are the bride and Messiah, the 144,000, and the nation of Israel. Okay, let us keep going.
All right, so we see another tribe being mentioned in verse 24. And by the border of Benjamin, from the east side unto the west side, Simeon shall have a portion.
Okay, so we see Simeon have a portion. Let us kind of summarize the next coming verses up so we
All
can
right,
get to the other ones in this
sounds
chapter.
sounds good. So let's see, up until verse 30, we see that
Mm-hmm.
all the tribes have their portion in this land.
Okay, we see Issachar,
Mm-hmm.
Zebulon,
Zebulon,
Gad,
we see
right?
Gad, right?
And
Let's see,
so, and it's giving us all the borders, like you
the
said,
borders, verse
like the Great
28.
Sea,
Mm-hmm.
Kadesh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and again, when we see in verse 29, it's emphasizing to us that it's divided by the lot into the tribes of Israel for inheritance.
Inheritance. Mm-hmm.
Again, you need to ask yourself, why is not the Christian receiving Israel inheritance? In other words, why do we see the word Israel and not the name Christian Church here?
Christian church. Mm-hmm.
That's something to ask. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's the
All right, so we're going to jump to verse 31, if that's okay.
mm-hmm.
And the gates of the city shall be after the names of the tribes of Israel.
Ooh.
3 gates northward, 1 gate of Reuben, 1 gate of Judah, and one of Levi.
Again, where have we seen this before? And this is not in the old, y'all. Where have we seen this before?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm gonna be honest. You need to ask yourself, has this happened before in the past? Has this came to pass based on what we're reading now? But where have we seen this before?
Mm-hmm.
In what book, y'all? Oh, somebody not answer. Let
Oh,
me see.
somebody, let me
Somebody,
see.
our sister here, Kenzie Graham.
That's right.
Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's giving you confirmation or giving us the time setting of when this shall be.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're gonna have those who going to contest it, but they have to explain because we have a copy of Josephus' writings, and we can go back and look at his writings to compare. Do we see the mentioning of these gates with what the 12 tribes of Israel?
Yes.
So it's kind of sum up in these final verses that's coming up. So we ought to see there was a gate for Reuben, Judah,
Right.
and Levi.
Right.
What?
We
Okay, and
see, we see one for Joseph in verse
then
32, one for Benjamin, and one for Dan.
y'all hear that? We got a gate for Dan. Okay.
And then we also see one for Simeon, one for
Mm.
Issachar, and one for Zebulun.
Mm. Okay.
Okay. At the west side, we see Gad, Asher,
Mhm.
and Naphtali.
Okay. Mm. All
Verse
right.
35. Verse 35. It was round about 18,000 measures, and the name of the city from that day shall be the Lord is there.
Now, I'm going to click on the reference because we got to have the interpretation for that one because, like I said, we've been taught the English tongue for so long. But for those who have a copy of the 1611, in Hebrew, the words that means the Lord is there is what? Yahuwah Shammai. Yahuwah Shammai. I want to type this in the video description box because that's something I want you to have. Notice that when they translated the King James 1611 Bible, a lot of this stuff didn't translate along with it.
Mhm.
That's something y'all really need to pay close attention to. This is why I encourage many to use that book. Because as you see here, it's giving you what? Giving you the side notes, giving you the precepts.
Yeah.
Okay? Because we wouldn't have this. Well, it's hard to say. I don't know if a modern day Bible today would let you know that the Lord is there and would give you the Hebrew word, which is Yahuwah Shammai. Yahuwah Shammai. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on, sis. I'm just gonna put this in here. Now, the reason why you want to again to pay attention to this, think about it. It's giving us a big hint
Hmm.
about the time period. Okay. Where have we seen written in the Bible in the days of the ancient Israelites? Okay, that the city or that their city is named Yahuwah Shammai.
Mhm.
Where have have we seen this happen yet?
No.
Because this is telling y'all something big. If you understand what this verse is telling you,
Hmm.
it's going to give you understanding about what Revelation is saying to you. It's going to give you understanding where Revelation is not contradicting what Ezekiel is saying about the tabernacle slash temple slash house. Do y'all hear what I'm saying here? This verse, even though it's few words, it's saying something deep here. So in your Bibles, you want to highlight this. Read this for us again, sis, because I want people to really
Sure.
hear what the word is saying.
Ezekiel chapter 48, verse 35. It was round about 18,000 measures, and the name of the city from that day shall be called, The Lord is there.
Do y'all hear this? The name of this city, because like I said, you got to go back in the verses high above, because these verses high above we kept talking about the city, right? But they said the name of the city from that day. Okay, so what from what day? Is
Mhm.
it talking about a day that is to come? So when the day when it's to come, the name of this city shall be Yahuwah Shemaiah. I mean, not Shemaiah, Shema, or Shamar, Shamar. And it's telling us something deeper here. It's saying what? Yahuwah is there. Yahuwah is there. We should give you a hint what Revelation told you of what yet to come. I'm gonna see if somebody can type it in the description box. What was the message that Revelation told us of what is yet to come that was already ordained in the beginning before the fall of Adam? Okay. I love this brother right here. This brother said, I'm on my way to Yahuwah Shema. Let me see, can I scroll down? He said, I'm on my way. Okay, he said, ask that again. What was Revelation telling us the what yet to come? Okay? Because this verse here is going in hand what Revelation told us that was already ordained or destined to be before the foundation of the world, before Adam fell.
Mhm.
If no one can guess, I'm just gonna have to give y'all the nugget. I ain't gonna read the verse. I'm just gonna give you the scripture, and that's your homework. I believe giving homework. I sure do. That like my family member know me from
That's
the
fine.
calendar class.
Mhm.
They know Sister Yitia likes to give homework. Hold on for a minute, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all that scripture so y'all can will have it. Okay, I had to look it up. Cause unfortunately, my Bible, I don't wore that thing. I mean, I don't wear that Bible out so much the pages done tore out, and I got it in a notebook now. But let me see. I done Googled it now so I can get y'all the correct scripture. Okay. The scripture you're gonna have to do for homework to read, because this is a reading challenge, is Revelation chapter 21, verse 3.
Mhm.
That's homework. Okay, that's your homework to understand what Ezekiel chapter 48 verse 35 is telling us. Because I want y'all to really grasp what that means. Because it said what from that day. What day is talking about? When it's going to start? That this city is going to be named that. Remember, the Hebrew words give you is the Hebrew words mean something, y'all. It tells you something deep of what the Father is telling you. That was already destined before the foundation of the world. All right. All right. I don't want to keep doing this, but right now, sis, I could stop right here tonight and say we come back. Y'all need to
No.
dwell on that, but I want to close it out.
Let's close it out.
Okay.
Yes.
I
Let's
want to
close it out.
close it out.
Yeah, let's
So
close
now
it
we're going to go to Zechariah chapter 14. Zechariah chapter 14. Okay. That's why I like about the 1611. No other book has what the 1611 has. Ooh, and if you get an old copy of it before they start taking out other stuff, y'all, you have a rich treasure in your hands.
Yeah.
It's priceless.
Mm.
So we're going to Zechariah chapter 14. Let's see where I put my notes at on Zechariah 14. Okay, see that one. Okay, I see where my notes at. The chapter summary we're going to start with first. I want y'all to really pay close attention because the chapter summary is telling you a lot. For it says of Zechariah chapter 14, the destroyers of Yahushalom. Another hit, y'all. Right now, what? It's called Yahushalom, the city of peace. Okay. But let me keep going because I could go back to that verse, y'all. But anyway, the destroyers of Yahushalom destroyed the coming of the Messiah and the graces of his kingdom, the plague of Jerusalem enemies, the remnant shall turn to Yahuwah, and their spoils shall be holy. Ooh, y'all, this ain't a lie. Destroyers of Jerusalem destroyed. Taking them out. Okay. Then the coming of the Messiah and the grace of his kingdom. A lot of keywords here, y'all. Then what we see here, plagues of Jerusalem enemies. Then we see remnant shall turn to Yahuwah. They shall turn to the Lord, and their spoils shall be holy. Okay, even the chapter some is telling us a lot. So let me look at my notes here. What I have that I just want to point out. I do want to start at verse 1 so you can get an idea about the time and setting, so you know if this is a future prophecy or not. It says, "Behold," which means to look. The day of the Lord cometh. Do y'all hear this? The day of the Lord cometh, and thou spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. Sound like a future prophecy to me, but let us keep going. Verse 2, for it say that I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle. Now, have we seen that come to pass yet? Have we seen the Lord to gather all nations to come against Jerusalem to battle? That's the question you need to ask. Then you know the time setting of this prophecy. We know that that is yet to come. It goes on to say, and the city shall be taken, the houses raffled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Now that verse you need to go back and meditate, dissect, and see what the Father's saying that's coming to Jerusalem. Okay. But he said what? All nations. That's a key word. He said all nations, not some nations. He said all nations will come against Jerusalem. All right. Then verse 3. Then shall Yahuwah go forth and fight against those nations as when he fought in the day of battle. So you got to ask yourself, have you seen that come to pass yet? All right. So I am going to skip down some. When we look at verse 4, some keywords here I want to point out to you in verse 4 is dealing with Mount Olives. Okay. And also how half of the mountain move. Okay. So that's that's a verse you want to go back and reflect on. I just want to skip down because I want to kind of get to the one that's going to tie. I mean, this does tie into Ezekiel as well, but I want to get to the main part that would be more obvious for those who are still, learning the Most High Word. So
Verse 8 says.
verse 8. Let me see here. Let me see if I have in my notes, sis. Oh, in verse 6, I do want to point out here another sign in the heaven. It says that it shall come to pass in that day that the light shall not be clear nor dark. Had that happened yet? Okay. Then in verse 7, it says, but it shall be one day which shall be known to the Lord, not day nor night. So not daylight nor night, y'all. Okay. But it shall come to pass that at evening time it shall be light. What? We're going to have light at evening time? We're going to be like Alaska? Ah! Again, these are signs that, we should look for when these things come to be. All right. Now we go to 8. Now I see why my sister said go to 8, girl. I got that in my notes right here. All right, let's read 8. And it shall be in that day that living waters, y'all, do y'all hear this? That living waters shall go out from Jerusalem, half of them towards the former sea, and half of them towards the hinder sea. In summer and in winter shall it be. Where have we heard this in Ezekiel, y'all, about the living waters?
And Revelation.
And Revelation. Okay. Hold on, y'all. I got to see. Oh, let me check the screen if he's trying to come in. No, okay. He ain't trying to come in. Hold on, y'all. Okay. So that's another verse you want to highlight. Then look at verse 9. And the Lord shall be king over all the earth. Y'all highlight that. I know I ain't read it all yet. But it said the Lord shall be king over all the earth. In that day shall there be one Lord and his name one. Y'all, I'm going to tell you, that ain't come to pass yet. We ain't there yet. Now, we coming close to it, but we ain't there yet. So that's another verse you want to highlight. Okay. Now, when we look at 10 and 11, what point out to me, y'all, in verse 10 and 11, it said that men dwell in it safely. That's what I got down in my notes. Where, for example, when we get to verse 11, and men shall dwell in it, and there shall be no more utter destruction, but Yahusha shall be safely inhabited. Y'all, now this key word is destruction. The reason why this word sticks out to me, we're in the 11th month, and the 11th month, and the number 11 means destruction. Now, destruction is not always a bad thing, y'all, because when something is destroyed, guess what? Then a new life or a new beginning can take place. So it's to bring something good, when you understand what these prophecies are telling unto us. But the thing that stick out to me is right here. It says that when men dwell in it, shall there be no more destruction anymore. So in other words, no more wars, right? Okay. No more of people attacking each other, okay? But Yahushua shall be safely inhabited. So this city that we know is the city of peace is gonna finally have some peace. No more worries, no more concerns. Okay. Let me see here. Then in verse 12, what I want to point out to you is the plague in verse 12. The plague. Okay, so let's read that one. This is y'all definitely read this one. It say here, and this shall be the plague wherewith Yahuwah will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Do y'all hear this now? Y'all need to pay attention now. A plague, right? Now, notice who this plague gonna fall on. It said the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes. and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Y'all, if you read Revelation, then you understand verse 12. Now, this remind me of that movie Terminator. Y'all
Yes,
remember what happened?
yes. When she was
Eh,
holding on to the fence, yes, sis.
yes. So you need to ask yourself, who is this one that comes like fire? Ah, where these ones instantly, like a matchstick, go poof. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna go poof.
Poof. Mm-hmm.
Now we know this ain't come to pass yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how we know? We still here, y'all. You understand what I'm saying? We still here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But know what this plague gonna do? Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's keep reading. Verse 13. I'm gonna read a little bit down further so we can get through this thing.
Right.
And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Lord shall be among them, and they shall lay hold everyone on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of the neighbor. Woo!
Mm-hmm.
We getting a little taste of that now. But anyway, verse 14. And and y'all, okay, y'all. Did I say
Jude.
Yahuda? Yeah, Yahuda, which is Judah, also shall fight at Jerusalem, and the wealth of all the heathen. Y'all want to learn that? Underline that word heathen now, okay? It said the wealth of all the heathen round about shall be gathered together, gold and silver and apparel in great abundance.
Mm.
Again, y'all, where have y'all seen this happen?
Yes.
Because have y'all seen the tribe of Judah rise up yet?
Mm-mm.
Remember that verse in Genesis about the lion?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen it happen yet?
Still
Do you hear
crouching.
me, Christians? This is something y'all need to look into because they ain't telling y'all everything. Okay? They just telling us we're going to heaven, having a good time. Anyway, verse 15. And so shall be the plague of the horse, of the mule, of the camel, and of the donkey, and all the beasts that shall be in these tents as this plague.
Hmm.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
All right, something to think about. Let me look at my notes here.
Oh, verse 16
So,
is 16.
yeah, I got in my notes, verse 16. Okay, let's read this.
All right.
And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all nations, underline that word. This is dealing with all nations, not some nation, all nation, which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, to keep the feast of tabernacles.
Oh.
Y'all, we're going back to Ezekiel.
Ooh.
Now, have we seen the nations that's left from this great battle that's going to take place? Have we seen them keeping the feast of tabernacles?
Since they don't even keep it now.
I mean, that's the question to ask, y'all. Have we seen the nations of this earth keeping the feast of tabernacles? I say it like that because
Let's say it like that, sis.
right now they said keeping the holy days is a burden. they said they say
Run
that's
away
under
from
the
yeah.
law. We
That
don't
Old
do that no
Testament
more.
stuff. Yes. Uh-huh.
Yes, brother, you're right. And the Father's gonna return it back to the
Right.
righteous.
That's right.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but get back to the feast of tabernacles, y'all. I just got to go into this a little bit. They say keeping these holy feasts is a burden now. That's how they say it. But yet we have a prophet here, right? That's giving us a future prophecy. And what we reading so far, y'all, this has not come to pass.
Mm-mm.
This has not come to pass. And it said that what? One that is left of all nations. So it's dealing with those who are left from this great battle that's going to take place now. That's going to go down in the earth. Now, this talking about in the earth. They ain't talking about in the heavens. It's talking about in the earth now. They who are left, they're going to keep this feast from year to year. Y'all, if your heart ain't there yet, you better go ahead and work on getting your heart right.
Mm-mm. And
Because they're
everyone
gonna keep
that's
it.
left, everyone that's left over, the first part of that verses, the top part of
Mhm.
verse 16, everyone that's left of this great battle that took place in the earth, we have to ask ourselves, what's the name of that battle? It has a name.
Yes.
It has a
Another
name.
prophet. Gi- Give them the prophet name that you talking about that talks about this.
Joel.
Joel.
And he talks about the place where it's going to happen
Mm-hmm.
in that great valley that we read up top in verse 4. Christ
Mm-hmm.
created the location for this battle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I said Joel
Mm-hmm.
4, I'm sorry, Joel chapter 3 will give you the the name of the battle and the location. Joel chapter 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And there's a
All right.
movie named after it, right, sis?
Uh-huh. Yep. Okay. I see
Okay.
you said verse 4, but it's gonna lead into verse 5 too. From
Right.
4 to
Yes.
5.
Yes, right.
Uh-huh.
Go back to that
Uh-huh.
valley, that great valley. It says
Uh-huh.
Great Valley here, but in Joel chapter 3, it gives you the actual name
Mm-hmm.
of the valley.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I left Jehoshaphat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Let
right.
me go ahead and read this out so we can close this out, sis, so we can get to
Yes, yes,
Isaiah 66.
yes. Go ahead.
Okay. It said, and it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth, here again, here go again, all the families of the earth, y'all, unto Yahusha to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain. Do y'all hear what the Father gonna do? He gonna
Mhm.
keep the rain back. Those who study the calendar will understand that by him sending no rain, they cannot eat because it's still in agriculture. So there ain't gonna be no grocery stores. We're going back to the creative original plan. We're gonna live off the land.
Mhm.
Oh, I gave interpretation. Forgive me, y'all. Sorry. This is a reading challenge. Oh, but let it get going. Okay. And if the family of Egypt go not up and come not, that have no rain, there shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite the heathen. Hear that word again, y'all, heathen, that come not up to keep the feast of tabernacles. Do you hear what the Father's going to do to the family of Egypt? Now, you probably wonder why is Egypt mentioned again. It goes back to a prophecy that Isaiah gives us about Egypt, um, Jerusalem, and I think Syria. I think it's Isaiah 19. And if I have to go back and do a study, you may want to look at the original forefathers of each group. Go back to Genesis 10.
Mhm.
Genesis 10.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's keep going. Again, y'all, we seen that what? Feast of Tabernacles. We read about that in Ezekiel.
Mhm.
Okay. Verse 19. And this shall be the punishment of Egypt and the punishment of all nations. So not only this going to happen on Egypt, y'all, it said what? The punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the feast of tabernacles. So, sis, I thought,
Uh-oh.
according to the Christian, they said that this not important to the Father no more. They
Important.
said it's done and over with.
It's done away with Old
Well,
Testament stuff. Yeah.
we gotta ask the question: if it's not important to the Father, why he gonna put a punishment upon Egypt and
Right.
upon all nations that don't come up and keep this?
That's right,
That's
sis.
a question, y'all. Y'all gonna have to ask.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
something to really think about.
Yes.
Hmm. Let me
Mhm.
show some of these our brothers and sisters comments here. We show this sister comment,
Mm. Mhm.
this brother comment.
Mhm.
I think essential growth was adding to what you was talking about in verse 5.
Okay,
Okay.
that's right. That's right. Mhm.
Okay. This sister here was agreeing with this
Mhm.
person.
Mhm.
This person also telling them, what's coming as well if they don't keep the feast.
Mhm.
And then the same person saying it's very important to keep it.
That's right.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
All right.
Let's keep going. It said in verse 20, in that day shall there be upon the bells of the horses holiness unto Yahuwah, and the pots in Yahuwah's house shall be like the bowls before the altar. Y'all, this is saying something deep here, a spiritual thing here. When you
Yes.
understand what they're representing, but I'll give you a little hint. Remember, he is the potter, and we are the clay. You understand that. Also, go back to the chapter summary, and you understand what that verse means.
Mhm.
Okay, now let's read verse 21. Yea, every part in Jerusalem and in Yahudah shall be holiness unto Yahuwah of hosts. or unto the Lord of hosts. And all day that sacrifice shall come and take of them, and see if therein. And in that day there shall be no more the Canaanite in the house of Yahuwah of hosts. I thought y'all said he don't make no difference between
Uh-huh.
certain ones.
That's right.
Why did we see another tribe mentioned here? Why did we
Mm-hmm.
see the Canaanites mentioned here? What is the Father saying unto us?
Mm-hmm.
Do you hear me, Israelites and Gentiles? What he's saying unto us?
And it's a heathen nation as well, too.
Yeah, a heathen nation.
Yes.
Why he say this unto us, there shall be no more the Canaanite in the house of the Lord of hosts. What did he mean by that? Again, you got to do precept upon precept. I know Revelation has the answer. I also know Ezekiel had the answer to give you understanding why he made this distinction. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back to the beginning, you will understand why he made that distinction among the Canaanites. Okay. Here go the side notes for Zechariah chapter 14. Take this time now to pause your screen to have it. Okay. Oh, I like this person here. They said what? A bowl is a receiving vessel. They
Uh-huh.
look, they tap into the deep spiritual thing
Uh-huh.
there.
Uh-huh.
When
Wow.
I first read this, I was like, I know this means something, but I don't know what it is yet. That's why I said in my mind, I kept going.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get to the other prophets' writings, you begin to understand what Zechariah is saying unto us when we go back to the chapter summary. Because the
Mm-hmm.
chapter summary gives you a hint. It says that the remnant shall turn to the Lord, and their spores shall be holy.
Yeah.
The question is, what are the spores they talking
Mm-hmm.
about that shall be holy?
Mm-hmm.
And the prophets, expounds on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, now let us go to Isaiah 66. Girl, I ain't gonna lie. I'm glad it fell on you.
Thanks a lot, sis. Thanks for
But
showing
you
me
know
so much
what?
love, my sister.
Yes, yes, I'm showing you a lot of love in this one.
You sure a
I'm
lot of
look,
love.
look, look, look. I'm gonna
But you're
let you
gonna help
have
me.
this one,
You're gonna help
but
me. You're gonna help.
yeah, I help you.
All
But
right.
I'm so glad it fell on you and not on me.
That's all right. I can
But the
handle it.
good news is we in the second hour, but we got a good amount of time
Right.
to work
Okay.
with,
Okay. Okay.
so we
Okay.
can finish it out today.
Sounds good.
I mean tonight, so we can finish out tonight. So
Mm-hmm.
let me read it. I can't read the chapter summary though for you.
It's too long.
Okay.
All
Chapter
right.
summary for Isaiah 66 says, the glorious God will be served in humble sincerity. He comforteth the humble with the marvelous generation and with the gracious benefits of the church. Oh, I'm smiling because you see the word church. We ought to talk about that. But
Yeah.
anyway, verse 15. Oh, God's severe judgments against the wicked. The Gentiles shall have an holy church and see the damnation of the wicked.
Wow.
Wow.
Woo.
Okay. While you all getting yourself prepared to start, I'm
I'm
gonna show
ready. I'm
a
ready.
special comment of what they expounded what we said. They said this time they would be driven out for good or done away with. So
Yes.
be it. You're right. Because when you do those precepts, special revelations touch
Yes.
on it.
Yes.
Okay,
Amen.
it may use a different analogy, but it give you an idea why he said that about the Canaanites. Again,
Yes.
remember, Yahuwah is a righteous judge. He just don't say that to be saying it. You have to understand biblical history. Remember, he know his children. He know their hearts. Okay, so he has a reason why he does what he does.
Mm.
All right.
All right. We're going to start at the top, verse 1.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Isaiah 66, verse 1. Thus saith the Lord, the heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. Where is the house that ye built unto me? And where is the place of my rest?
Mm.
Mm-mm.
This girl is so much to said in this verse. You can meditate on this one. It kind of
Mm-mm.
tie in. back to Ezekiel 48:35. He giving us the hint.
Mhm.
Right
Mhm.
now, he presented us as a question.
Mhm.
He said, "Where is my house
Yes.
that ye built unto me?
Mhm.
Where's my place of rest?"
Wow.
Now, I also like how he described, how
Mm.
can I say, how big this thing that
Yes. Mhm.
he created. Like he said, what? The heavens my throne.
Heaven and the earth.
So a throne is, meditate on the word throne. He sit there, right?
Mhm.
I know I'm doing interpretation, but I want y'all to really meditate on this. Heaven's throne, right? And so we know that's where he sits. And then he said, what? Earth is my footstool. That's where his foot rests.
Mhm.
Telling you something deep here, y'all. Okay.
Verse 2. For all those things hath mine hand made, and all those things have been, said the Lord. But to this man will I look, even to him that is poor and of a contrite spirit, and trembleth at my word. Verse 3. He that killeth an ox is as if he slew a man, and that sacrificeth a lamb, as if he cut off a dog's neck. He that offereth an oblation, as if he offered swine's blood. He
Mm.
that burneth incense, as if he blessed an idol. Yea, they have chosen their own ways, and their soul delighted in their abominations.
Do you see what kind of
Oh.
comparison the Father is giving unto us on how they worship him? Now think about it. Why would the Father say, "He that killeth an ox," as if he has slayed a man? Why would he make that comparison? What is going on here? Because as you see, these offerings or these sacrifices they are doing is not pleasing unto him.
Right.
He's revealing unto us something deep
Mhm.
behind what they're doing.
Mhm. Mhm.
Think about it. Even though they offered him an ox, he compared them as them killing a man. Even though they sacrificed a lamb, he compared to them as cutting off a dog's neck.
Mhm. Hmm.
So when you meditate on that, the best way I can sum this up without giving interpretation, it sounds like their offerings was defiled. It was not pleasing.
Yes.
Something they was doing, and it may go to a spiritual part, y'all,
Mhm.
like behind the person's hand.
Mhm.
It's not the offering, but it's behind the person's hand who's offering the offering. Something in their heart.
Mhm. Yes, that's the word, sis. You hit
If
it.
you understand what I'm saying, it's something in their heart.
Mhm. Mhm.
Now we can't see. We think, oh, they being holy, holy. Look at them. They got the best offerings. Look at them. But their heart is messed up on the inside.
Yeah, because we look at the outward, but the Lord sees the inward part.
Hmm.
Okay.
All right, keep going,
Verse
sis.
4. I also will choose their delusions and will bring their fears upon them, because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. But they did evil before mine eyes, and chose that in which I delighted not.
Meditate on that. Now, notice what he say here. I will choose their delusion.
Mm,
Mm, I
hmm,
will choose their delusion. So whatever their delusion is, he's going to choose that to be upon them.
hmm, hmm,
Okay. Something to think about, y'all. These verses are speaking some deep things because it relates to the now, what's going on with our season now, because we're in the season of perfection and we're in the time of the great insurrection. For those who don't understand what that means, go on the channel. There are 2 videos that will elaborate on that. Okay.
hmm.
All right. Let's keep going, sis.
Verse 5. Hear the word of the Lord, ye that tremble at his word. Your brethren that hated you, that cast you out for thy name's sake, said, let the Lord be glorified. But he shall appear to your joy, and they shall be ashamed.
This saying a lot. Because we got people who do this today.
Right?
But yet they tell you what? I love you.
Mhm. Love you, my
And they
sister.
stabbing you in the back. And they don't think nothing of it. They don't think, they don't, they don't think no wrong of it.
Mhm. But the
But here the
Father
key,
seeth.
but the key word is what? They shall be ashamed.
That's right.
But we shall be in joy when he what? When he
Lord,
give us justice.
justice.
hmm Okay.
Right. Verse 6, a voice of noise from the city, a voice from the temple, a voice of the Lord that rendereth recompense to his enemies.
Mm. That's something to meditate on. You can
Verse
ask
7,
yourself, what is this voice?
yes.
What is this voice?
Mhm,
And it's telling you what this voice is coming from.
mhm, mhm, mhm,
And it's telling you what this one gonna do.
mhm.
Something to think about. Let's go, keep going.
Verse 7, before she travailed, she brought forth. Before her pain came, she was delivered of a man child.
Go ahead and read verse 8 so they can get the
Who
understanding of
hath,
verse 7.
verse 8, who hath heard such a thing? Who hath seen such things? Shall the earth be made to bring forth in one day? Or shall a nation be born at once? For as soon as Zion travailed, she brought forth her children.
Go ahead and read the next one down.
Shall I bring to the birth and not cause to bring forth, saith the Lord? Shall I cause to bring forth and shut the womb, saith the Lord?
When we look at these three verses and you go back and meditate, we know it's centered around what? Nation be born. And a key word, well, it's actually a movie that came out a couple of years. You may want to look at is dealing with a birth of a nation. Birth of a nation, which tie into the book of Revelation. And in the video description box, I don't know if I listed, but you need to listen to YAHUAH prophetic messages. He does expound on verse 7, 8, and 9, what this means. Then you begin to understand. I don't know if this verse talks about it yet, but I'm going to give you the key word earthquakes. Why did the earth have earthquakes? What did that mean?
Hmm,
Okay, something to think about. A
okay.
lot of keywords, such as we look at verse 7. She travail. That means she's in pain. In pain. Okay. And then what? Another keyword's delivered of a man child. What did that mean? Then right here in verse 8, again, keywords in there. Nation to be born at once. Zion travail. She bring forth her children. What did that mean? Verse 9. Keyword is unto here. Again, we see the word birth and something about the womb,
Hmm,
like shed the womb. What did that mean? You need to ask yourself. Okay. What's the next one, sis?
verse 10, rejoice ye with Jerusalem, and be glad with her. All ye that love her, rejoice for joy with her. That ye that mourn for her, that ye may suck and be satisfied with the breast of her consolation, that ye may milk out and be delighted with the abundance of her glory.
So now we're getting to these two verses going to expound on the church here. Okay. And you need to ask yourself, why are we going back to this verse referring back to Jerusalem? Why don't we see the word Christian church here? Okay. And then I love how the Father give us analogy here. You need to ask yourself, what does it mean that one may suck and be satisfied with the breast of her constellations? I mean, consolations. Okay, what did that mean? All right, that ye may milk out and be delighted with the abundance of her glory. See, this is an analogy to something. Something's going to be restored back unto Jerusalem, that those who join Jerusalem, okay, these are the ones who join a Jerusalem or graft into Jerusalem or partake in Yahushua, then they too is going to what? Be consoled too with this.
Mm,
Something deep here.
mm,
Do you hear me, Israelites and Christians? Something deep here, something to meditate on here. All right. What's
Okay.
the next one?
Verse 12. For thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will extend peace to her like a river, and the glory of the Gentiles like a flowing stream. Then shall he suck, and he shall be borne upon her sides, and be
Mm,
dangled upon her knees.
wow. So we see here keywords here like the glory of the Gentile. You need to ask yourself, who was the glory of the Gentiles? And
Mm,
then it goes on to expound upon this sentence here that it says that then shall ye suck and ye shall be born upon her side. I mean, hear this key word born upon her sides and be dangled upon her knees. So we sound like it's going to be
mm,
some nurturing taking place, some feeding taking place. Again, you got to go into the other prophets like Micah,
mm.
Isaiah, Ezekiel, all of them
Yeah.
expound on this, how the Gentiles going to be nurtured. What did that mean? So you know there's a feeding taking place, but a feeding of what?
Mhm.
Okay. You gotta ask yourself, what is this feeding that it's talking about? What is this nourishment that it's talking about? That will what? They're gonna be what? Born. So you know that's a change taking place.
Right.
Like I said, I love these analogies when you meditate on this because the Father remind me to share with y'all. Don't rest through these analogies. Write these keywords there and meditate what and see what he's saying here. Because when you think about it, what does it mean to be satisfied with the breast? It's comparing one to a babe who is getting nourishment for the breast. Think about it. What did that nourishment do for the babe? Okay. Father's telling me for those who read these verses, this is not all. Do not take these verses in a lustful way. Keep it clean. Okay. All right. But
Mhm.
it's something deep here,
Mhm.
something very deep. Okay, go ahead, sis. Read the next verse.
Right. Verse 13. As one whom his mother comforteth, so will I comfort you, and he shall be comforted in Jerusalem.
Oh, y'all, this is saying something deep. It's expounding on these other verses we just read. What it, notice here how the father is making a comparison. He's comparing himself as a mother who
Mhm.
comforted.
Mhm.
Okay, something deep here, y'all.
Mhm.
Father's giving no. This reminding me what we see in Genesis. Do we not have mothers with the title of mothers? Wait, let's
Right.
keep going, y'all.
All
Let's
right.
keep going.
Verse 14.
Oh,
And when ye see this, your heart shall rejoice, and your bones shall flourish like an herb. And the hand of the Lord shall be known toward his servants, and his indignation towards his enemies.
okay. I'm just looking over this again.
Okay,
Read that verse one more time, sis.
one more time. Verse
Uh-huh.
14. And when ye see this, your heart shall rejoice, and your bones shall flourish like an herb.
Mm.
And the hand of the Lord shall be known towards his servants, and his indignation towards his enemies.
Y'all, this is saying something deep. He's saying that when I comfort you, think about this. When he comfort you, what's going to take place within you?
Mhm,
Keyword, heart shall rejoice. Your
mhm,
bones shall flourish like an herb. Why would
mhm,
he make an analogy to bones? You probably want to do a study on bones, y'all, to understand why he compare or what you should feel to bones that shall not nourish, that shall flourish like an herb. Okay. And notice what he goes to say. He said another key word. We got word here, servants. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Servant is not a negative word. Okay, don't get confused what they have done in this kingdom to servants to what is the kingdom to come. Get the Father's definition, because say here that his hand, okay, shall be known towards his servants, and this same hand shall what? Shall show his indignation towards his enemy. Again, when you take time to meditate on these verses, you be like me, you be chuckling, you be like, Father, I get you now. I understand you now. I get it.
mhm,
Wow. So again, there'll be joy for some, and then there's gonna be misery for others.
mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Read the
Mhm.
next verse, sis.
Verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by
Okay.
fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Okay. We stopped at verse 16, right? Okay. Oh, look on your screen because the brother
Uh-huh.
give us a
Yes.
hint. So we need to read Ezekiel, I think 37, where we
30,
look at these bones.
37. 37. Valley of the dry
Okay.
bones. Yes.
And I
Mhm.
thank you for mentioning that those keywords. Okay.
Yes.
Now let me just quickly reflect on what you just read, sis. So I'm just gonna be quiet for 1 second. Oh my God, y'all, do y'all hear this? He coming with fire. We just read this in Zechariah 14. Wow. And it's a mystery about why he come in fire. Remember what he said to us beginning. He will not destroy the world with water, but with fire. And it's a
Mhm.
mystery on about the fire.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay.
And did not,
Revelation
and
revealed it
remember,
and
yes,
Zechariah revealed it.
and also says John the Baptist told us what God, what, what
Yeah.
Jesus would baptize with when he
Yes,
came.
yes, yes. I'm glad
Okay?
you hit that too.
In Matthew
Because
chapter 3.
somebody mentioned in the comment section about the two types of fire. The
Yes.
same fire will what destroy one and the other and 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 the same fire will purify or refine the
That's
other.
right. That's right.
Okay. This is a spiritual thing here that's gonna be taking place. Okay. Wow. Okay, that's like I said, these 2 verses is something you want to make a note, say Zechariah 14, the Gospel of John, and the Book of Revelation. Okay, verse 15 and 16. And those were here. It said the Lord plead with all flesh. Now, with times when people hear the word plead, they think it's begging. Y'all, this is not begging. When you understand, and put like this, when the Father has to plead with you face to face, it is not good. It is something to take serious. When he has to talk with you face to face, that means this is it. Either you do as I say, or you know what? Do y'all hear this? So when it said, "Will the Lord plead?" Yeah, will the Lord plead with all flesh? Do y'all
With
hear
his
this? And with
iron
all
sword.
flesh.
Mhm. Mhm.
And the slain of the Lord shall be many. So he's telling us he's gonna be taking out many.
Yes.
Many. Okay. Again, Revelations 14 and Matthew 13. All right, sis, let's keep going.
Right? They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith the Lord.
Okay. Now this go towards my Christians. Okay, because I'm gonna expound a little bit more, going a little bit deeper with y'all. It's the question you need to ask yourself. Why is it in one part we have grace and mercy? Because the Father tell us that what I wink at your ignorance, right? But why in this part here, this part that's yet to come, we see that he's no longer winking at ignorance, right? So this the question you ask yourself. Why is it that they will be punished,
Mhm.
okay, for them who sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the garden, hiding behind a tree, eating swine flesh. So in other words, they call themselves sanctified, right? They call themselves being purified. But yet in secrecy, y'all, they are eating swine flesh and other abominable things and the mouse all together. These are things that are abominable, okay? But they doing this in secrecy. Why did the Father say that they shall all be, let me see, that what
Cons-
they're eating, I mean, with them and what they're eating, they all shall be consumed together. Why would the Father say this? And this
oh,
is something that the Christian needs to meditate on because, like I said, until you come in the whole bar in the book, you begin to understand why you had grace and mercy in one
mhm,
season and why
mhm,
he winked at your ignorance versus what is the yet to come and why he's not no longer winking at ignorance and why he's putting forth his judgment.
mhm,
Again, you got to come in the whole volume of the book. Okay.
mhm.
All right.
Verse
Father,
18.
sorry, sis. Father also want me to share with y'all. You have to understand the fourth beast kingdom. Then you understand why the Father has grace and mercy. I'm sitting here smiling. If you know what I know right now, when you understand the beast kingdom, what kingdom you're in, okay, then you will understand why the Father has grace and mercy. But it's going to be changing soon.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All
Sorry,
right.
sis.
That's okay, sis. Verse 18. For I know their works and their thoughts. It shall come that I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory.
Mm. This part you want to highlight. He said, "Well, I know your works and your thoughts. This is what determine how you're going to be judged." Again, people are always forever saying, "What? The Lord know my heart." I say, He sure do.
Yeah.
And He know your heart so well, He going to judge you according to your heart.
hmm
Okay?
hmm
Let's keep going.
Verse 19. And I will set a sign among them, and I will send those that escape of them unto the nations, to Tarshish, Pul, and Lud, that draw the bow, to Tubal and Javan, to the isles afar off, that have not heard my name, neither have seen my glory, and they shall declare my glory among the Gentiles.
Okay? This is the thing you want to ask yourself in this verse. What is the sign He's going to set among them? The prophet that's coming to my mind is Isaiah 11. Isaiah 11. Okay? What is that sign He's going to set among them? Another thing you need to ask yourself, who are those that escape of them? I mean, who are those that escaped of them unto the nations? Who are them that they're talking about in this verse? That is a question you need to ask yourself. Okay? And here is telling you why He's sending them, why He's sending those that had escaped of them. See what their purpose is in this verse. Because it lists the purpose. And it goes on to say that have not heard my fame. So He's sending them out to those that have not heard about His fame. Okay? To those who have not seen His glory. And those that He sent out, they're going to declare His glory unto who? The Gentiles. Christians, y'all need to listen. Who are these ones He's going to send out to declare the glory unto the Gentiles? Something to pay attention here. Something to ask some questions here. Why did He got to send those to declare His glory unto the Gentiles? Something to think about. All right, sis, let's keep going.
Verse 20. And they shall bring all your brethren for an offering unto the Lord out of all nations, upon horses, and in chariots, and in litters, and upon mules, and upon swift beasts, to my holy mountain Jerusalem, saith the Lord. As the children of Israel bring an offering in a clean vessel into the
Mm.
house of the Lord.
Y'all, this your answer to Zechariah chapter 14
Yeah.
about those pots,
Mhm.
about those vessels. You need to ask yourself, who is the brethren? Who is He talking about? I want to give you a heads up. He ain't talking about no Gentiles here.
Right.
Okay. Again, you're going all the prophets writings, you're going to see that the Gentiles is going to bring the brethren. Who is this brethren that this
Mm.
verse is talking about? That the Gentiles going to bring unto the Father as an offering.
Mm.
That come out of all nations. Again, it's in the Torah. It tells you who the brethren that He scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. It's in the prophet Daniel, right? In Daniel chapter 12, he tell you about those who He scattered. Well, I'm going to start in Daniel chapter 12, the whole book of Daniel. It tells you of those who He scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Okay? Notice here, you need to ask yourself where they're going to bring this offering to. It said, what? Into the house of the Lord. That's another key word. Like I said, when you take your time and break this thing down, it's saying a lot. Another key word, my holy mountain. What is this holy mountain that he's talking about in Jerusalem? What is about this place, y'all? Why he keep going back there? Because again, I thought we were all the same. You know what I'm saying? I thought everything was the same. There's nothing put up higher above the other. In other words, there's nothing that's given more. Sis, I might need your help with a word here to help the Christians to understand what I'm saying. Why did he make a distinction between one city or one country versus the other country?
Mhm.
You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? We
Mhm.
have to come in the mindset of our God in heaven, our Father in heaven. We got to understand why he say this and put our feelings aside, put aside what the heathens taught us,
Mhm.
okay, and ask the Father to give us his doctrines,
That's right.
okay, to give us his understanding, to give us basically his mind, so we
Mhm.
can understand why he put a distinction or why he keep talking about Jerusalem, why he keeps talking about this holy mountain, why he keeps talking about this brethren that he scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, that he's requiring the Gentiles to be back unto him.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, sis, let's keep going.
Verse 21. And I will also take of them for priests and for Levites, saith the Lord.
Oh, y'all, highlight that again. He's making a distinction here of these brethren that's going to be offered unto him. He said, what? He's going to take of them priests. Why he ain't going to take some of these Christians and make them priests? Y'all need to ask yourself.
Mhm.
Why is he not going to take of the other nations and other tribes to make for priests?
Mhm.
For this particular verse, and for this and for this setting.
Mhm.
Okay, let's keep going.
Verse 22. As for the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, saith the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain.
In this verse, you need to ask yourself, 'cause this is one thing I don't remember the Christian church teaching me this. Because the only thing
Mhm.
they talk about was heaven, right?
Right.
I didn't know the Father was going to make a new heavens with an S and a
Uh-huh.
new earth until I read it for myself.
That's right.
Now, in the Christian church, all they talk about heaven, but the question you need to ask yourself, what's going to take place in the earth?
Mhm.
Who going to be in the new earth, y'all?
Mhm.
Because in the Christian doctrine, they say everybody going to heaven. That's where we're gonna be. But the question is, who gonna be in the new heavens and who gonna be in the new earth?
That's right.
They say everybody going to heaven.
Mhm.
Do y'all hear what I'm saying? It's something to really think about here.
Mhm.
It's deep. This is questions you need to ask them. To understand this, you got to go back to Genesis. It's a mystery about the heavens and the earth.
Mhm.
And I will give you this nugget. It's a place where the heaven and earth will connect.
Mhm.
And y'all, it's nothing new under the sun. It's been there,
Mhm.
but it goes deep. But this time he said, what? I would make a new heaven and a new earth. So we know this has not come to pass yet. We not in the new earth. We
Mhm.
sure ain't. Cause this place is
Mhm.
terrible. But
Mhm.
anyway, oh,
Mhm.
another key thing here, he said, what seed that our father here is talking about that their name will remain. What seed? What nation? What tribe, y'all? This is a question you need to ask yourself. Now, if you read in the verse above, you would know what seed that he's talking about. Okay?
Mhm.
Let us keep going to read, sis.
Verse 23. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord.
Now, sis, I gotta ask you this.
Yes, it's,
I thought the new moon day was put away.
I thought so too. And the Sabbath. And the
I'm
Sabbath.
about to tell you, I'm about to ask you that too. I thought the
I know.
Sabbath day was put away.
Sabbath. You don't do the Sabbath
I
anymore.
thought that was nailed to the cross.
Go to the cross.
Somebody lied to me.
Sure did.
I mean, we gotta laugh, y'all. I mean, because you
Yeah.
think about it. Why would his
Mhm.
prophet tell us and did what? It said what?
You.
How we know it's a future
Mhm.
prophet? It said, it shall
Mhm.
come to pass.
Mhm.
So you need to ask yourself, have all the flesh, that mean all the sons and daughters of Adam, okay? Have they all come to worship the Father on his
Mhm.
new moon day to another? From one Sabbath to another? Have they done this, y'all? That's just the question you need to ask yourself.
Hmm.
Have this came to pass yet? I want to go ahead and tell you, no. This is a future prophecy.
Mhm.
And I know the Christians are their heads are rolling, but we were taught it was nailed to the cross. Again, you have to understand the
Mhm.
whole volume of the book.
And verse 22 and verse 23 are actually connected, sis, because after the word
Mhm.
remain in 22, there's a comma. So it continues.
Yeah.
So it's telling you where this is going to happen in the new earth,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? Okay.
So
Hasn't
sis is
happened yet.
saying that y'all need to go back and look at 22 because when you read 22, it's telling you what is the following that is to come after this.
Right.
Again, the what the Christians are having a hard time understanding is that's a mystery on how we keep the new covenant. Okay? They talk about it, but they don't understand it.
Mhm.
There's a mystery on how we keep the holy days and the new the holy days and the feast days. There's a mystery on that. The Messiah gave you the example, but they missed it.
Yeah.
They missed it.
Mm.
So for them, I can see why they got confused because when you deal with English language and you put everything under one word, because the word they like to put everything under is what? The law.
Right.
Instead of saying, okay, let us understand the covenant. What are the
Mhm.
agreements in the covenant? What
Mhm.
has changed for right now until the what yet to come?
Mhm.
What does it mean that the Messiah said we shall worship the Father in heaven in spirit and truth? What does that really mean?
Mhm.
These are the things they
Hmm.
need to get with the Father now, because right now the leaders fail on their job. They didn't teach the people right.
Mhm.
So now, as a believer, for
Hmm.
those who believe in the Messiah, who's the second Adam, the Son of God, the anointed one, you need to go before the Father because the word of God said his spirit shall teach you all things.
Mhm.
Not flesh, his spirit. And you can tell the difference of those who talk by the Spirit. And we're going to use this for example. There's a prophetess on YouTube named Deborah Yah. You can tell she's taught by the Spirit. She's not taught by
Big
man.
time. Big
It's a
time.
big difference versus those who sat under a man or even under a woman for years and they don't understand these mysteries in the new covenant.
You know what, too, sis? This just came to mind. You know how they say sometimes the Old Covenant or the Old Testament has been done away with?
Mhm.
Well, you can't really say that because the everlasting covenant was actually given in the Old Testament.
Say that again since I was looking at a person comment, but go ahead. Say that again.
You know how they say the Old Testament or the Old Covenant has been done away with? We don't do that anymore.
Mhm.
Well, remember now, the everlasting promises, that everlasting covenant was given in the Old Testament from the beginning, from the very beginning, it was
Mhm.
given. So you
Yes.
can't really say that.
And see, what they don't
But
understand is, okay, the old led to the new, and the
right?
new will lead to the what yet to come.
Hmm.
But that was a mystery. That was a prophecy that the Messiah said unto us that they didn't grasp.
Hmm.
And what he said, and remember he told to the woman of Samaria, he said, the day will come, we will worship our Father in heaven in spirit and truth.
Right?
They don't understand what that means. To understand what that means, you got to go back to the beginning.
Right.
Okay. Adam, do y'all hear me? I'm calling y'all Adam now because I'm giving you a little nugget. You got to understand what it means to worship the Father in spirit and in truth. When when you understand that, then you will understand how Yashrael can keep the covenant in the fourth beast kingdom. We keep it in spirit and in truth. That's
Mm.
another mystery. Okay.
Alright.
Okay. Let's go ahead and finish that
One more verse, sis.
last
Yes,
verse.
verse
Uh-huh.
24. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me. For their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh.
So this to the Israelites, because I know some don't believe in a Sheol or a hell.
Mhm.
Now, the verse that will expound more on this can be found in Mark chapter 9, verse 44. But this is something to the Israelites for you to go back and do a further study on. Now, I have read of people testimonies who went to Sheol. They saw this. They saw how the worm did not die.
Mhm.
And if you read their testimony, and I'm going to give you this nugget. When they saw those souls in Sheol, they saw the worm go in and out of their bone. Now, remember, these people are in a spirit form now. So in their spirit form, they can see their bones. I don't want you to be thinking carnal. You have to read their testimony to understand what I'm sharing with you. But
Mhm.
in their spirit form, they see their bones, and within their bones, they saw worms going in and out of those bones. So you imagine something like a worm crawling in and out of you, y'all, day and night, unceasingly and nonstop. That's something to think about. Then this verse also said that that their fire be not quenched. So they will be forever burning, forever burning. And they shall be what? A horror to look at when we
Mhm.
go and see them.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I know some Israelites gonna say, well, that's not Sheol because it said what the carcasses of men. But you got to ask yourself, where's this place that we're gonna go look at the carcasses of men? Where's this place that he's talking about? Because when you read the prophet's writings, the dead that was upon the earth, we buried them, right? Because when you read the
Right.
prophet's writings, it said that you're gonna bury them. So where is this place that the Father's talking about where we're gonna see the carcasses of men,
Mm.
where their worm would not die? And where that fire would not be quenched. It's something to meditate on. Okay.
Mhm.
And we have people who had died and came back, or we have brothers and sisters who was taken in the spirit, the same way John was taken, the same way Enoch was taken when he was given those prophecies to write down before he was translated. Let me say this again: before he was translated into the heavens. Okay. So we have people who has that the Father has sent back unto us to testify unto us what they have seen in Sheol and what they have seen in hell.
Mm.
And what they report back unto us, y'all, you can find it in these prophets' writings. It line up word for word.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, Mr. Sears said they sure do.
Yeah.
And I had met people in person.
Mm.
Because see, I work in healthcare. So when you work in healthcare, you know, you hear about some interesting testimonies.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mm.
So I tell people who don't believe or whatever, I said, well, we got our people. We got our witnesses who died and came back or who were taken by spirit. Where is your people? Had they came back? In other words, had they died and came back and reporting to you what they saw?
Mhm.
And by the time they can't give you an answer because they don't have no witnesses. But the Father has given us our witnesses to prove
Mhm.
so.
Mhm.
All right, y'all. We did this in a 2 hour
Oh,
period. All
did it.
praises to y'all.
Mhm. Okay, sis.
Thank you, sis.
You're
I
welcome,
want to thank
sis.
everyone for partaking in the reading challenge. I really appreciate this. Again, when you first read it, you might not understand everything. That's okay. Because the same happened for me. But what I learned with the Father is if you keep going, He will open your understanding. And then soon all the dots will connect together.
Yes.
Okay? All of these dots will soon connect together.
Mhm.
All right. And thank you, my brother, for your comments. Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
But thank you, Yah's child. Thank you for your comment as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
They saying don't stop reading and all that kind of stuff. No, we got to stop.
We
We in
gotta
the
stop
part
now.
of
Come on,
Mario.
man.
This is the time now to meditate, go back
Meditate.
and reflect on
Yes,
what the
yes,
Father has shown it to you,
yes, yes.
and
Lazarus in the rich man's bosom, sis.
that's right. And we'll see where the next direction where the Father wants to go.
Yeah.
However, we are still continuing y'all's family gathering to learn about His calendar and mystery. So we welcome y'all to that. Please come. For those who want to fellowship with us, just call me at 919-972-8970 so you can get the information to join us. However, for those who cannot join us, we do a recording so you can stay up to date on that as well. And to whatever y'all will is next for us.
Ah,
Ah,
yeah, this will be
me
done.
too, sis. Me too.
Yes,
Um, and
yes.
everything. And like I said, I shared with y'all before, Sister Deborah Yah, who is well, the way I look at her, I look at her as a mother, as our
Mhm,
sister, as our prophetess as well. She's
mhm,
another good one to get minister unto, because now we're in the season where we should be off the milk now, y'all, and on the meat, meaning that we should be on the spiritual things now. We
mhm,
should be growing now to that level. Okay.
mhm,
You see here. Sometimes that is hard for me to do, my brother, because of my personal things that go on in my life. Unfortunately, I'm not set totally free because you know how it is in
mhm,
the fourth beast kingdom.
mhm,
But whatever, put like this, when I come on the channel, it's according to our Father's will. I put it
mhm.
like that because everything works out according to His will on that.
Yeah.
Let me see what else. Oh, okay. Okay, this sister was clarifying this. She was saying, "Don't give up." Yes, you're right,
Oh,
sis.
yeah,
Do
yes,
not
yes,
give up.
yes.
Y'all continue to read because I won't be honest. I didn't understand everything I read the first time, but in time, He will help you to understand. But
Mhm,
know this too: what we don't have or what we do lack, the Messiah is going to get all that going to get all that into accord. Okay. The most important thing is that you receive Him and that you stand for Him and that you are not shaken or shifted by Satan and his children. Okay. No, and another important thing the Father's reminding me now, He said, make sure that they understand about the end. Know this, the end will bring the new beginning.
mhm.
Our sufferings, our trials, our tribulation is only for a short period, y'all. It's only
Yes.
for a short season. And
Mhm,
in exchange of that, we're going to enter into eternity.
mhm,
So where our long suffering is short, our
mhm,
paradise is forever. If you understand
mhm,
what I'm saying there, our paradise is forever. But for the wicked, their happiness is only for a short period of time, but their suffering is forever, y'all.
mhm.
Okay.
Sis, can I read something real fast?
Yeah, go ahead and read something real
Real,
fast.
coming off what you just said, this scripture
Yeah.
just came to mind for some comfort, like you just said. Isaiah 61, verse 3. To
Okay.
appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they may be called trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that He might be glorified. So that just came to my mind.
Okay.
Isaiah 61, verse 3.
Oh yes.
Okay?
To sum it up, joy will come in the morning, y'all.
That's right. That's right.
Night is not forever.
And beauty for ashes.
Hmm. So
Okay?
y'all continue to hold on. Do not let the adversary to shift you.
Mhm.
Um, very important that you understand his promises and what is to come. When you know that, then the enemy cannot shift you. So no matter what they take from you, no matter what they do to you will still stand for your Father in heaven, for his Son, Yahusha HaMashiach, and for the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh. All right, my brothers and sisters, continue to preach that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, for it's truly at hand. Make sure the people receive salvation as read in Romans chapter 10. And if you're not baptized and you have no one to baptize yourself, to baptize you, you can do your baptism yourself because the water is the second witness in the earth. And our Father in heaven has poured his Spirit upon all his creation. Therefore, the water can report unto him of those who had entered into the new marriage. And from then, and then from that point, his Son, who is the Comforter, shall teach you all things, as written in 1 John chapter 2, verse 27. For those who want to receive the Holy Spirit baptism, you can receive it. All you have to do is ask in the name of his Son, who is Yahusha HaMashiach, and our Father in heaven will give it unto you accordingly to your heart, to your faith, and your works. Even there are those in the body who have the authorization to baptize those in the Spirit. Again, the Father only give them, that authority. Okay? But if you have no one in that area to do that unto you, you can go directly to the Father yourself because our high priest is the Messiah. And when you understand that, the kingdom of heaven is inside you. And because the kingdom of heaven is inside you, you can go before the Holy of Holies because the high priest is standing there on your behalf, being your mediator, interceding for you. And from there within, he can give you the Holy Spirit. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I love you all, and y'all have a good night. And
Okay,
shalom.
shalom. Shalom.